Da Kulam Gam Yachad. Shabbat Shalom. You may be thinking, is this the new thing that Reform rabbis and cantors always come to service in tiaras and masks, not of the COVID type mask? But as you are well aware, we are entering into the great Purim season, and we want to get you in the spirit. We hope you're thinking about your costume for Purim. This is really a very joyous time on the Jewish calendar, and I think we need that in spite of the heaviness of the pandemic and these terrible weather stories and all of the injustices that continue in the world. We need this month of Adar. We're only 1 week in, so we still have another few weeks to cultivate joy. Cantor Addie, what do you do to cultivate joy?
What do I do to cultivate? Oh boy, I got a little list of things, but one of them has to do with going for walks outdoors. Cultivates joy.
That's, our cantor goes out for walks, and the great healthy thing, I curl up with a good book and a mug of tea, and that cultivates joy for me. A little piece of very good chocolate. There's a lot, and then you should go out for a walk after that. So I think if you put together what we both do, there's so many ways to cultivate joy. And Shabbat, of course, with this opportunity to set the burden down and just give thanks to God for anything and everything that we have. That's what this service is about. So we're so delighted that you're all with us on this Shabbat, joining us, streaming with us. I believe that you can find, if you have a separate device, you can type in Reform Prayer Book and one will pop up, and you can follow along the service in the Mishkan Tzafila. We're so delighted to invite the Thayer family to turn on their cameras and join us for lighting Shabbat candles and welcoming in Shabbat on this Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat of remembrance before Purim. Benjamin will be called to Torah tomorrow, and we know that he is prepared and that the pandemic stops no Thayer bar mitzvah. So mazel tov to you, and we're so glad you're with us.
Thank you. Okay, Benji, go ahead.
Do I sing it now?
Mm-hmm. Well, light it and then sing it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Mazel Tov, Benjamin. We're going to see you back at Kiddush. And we, of course, take such great comfort and joy in our traditional Shabbat music, Lecha Dodi and Shalom Aleichem, starting on page 20 outside the brackets. Please sing at full volume.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmiyanu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. And we all, if we are able, we rise to greet the Sabbath bride. We face the entrance of the space that we're in as we welcome the symbolic bride of Shabbat. Bo'ui v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzochola, toch emunei am segula. And then we bow to the queen. Bo'ui chala, lecha dodi לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. We're on page 24 if you're in the Mishkan Tzafila. Bo'achem leshalom מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום מלאכי השלום, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
And I have to tell you, Cantor, if I turn to face toward the east, toward Jerusalem, when we say those prayers, as we're about to say, I can see the temple dome right out my window. And if I look the way I'm looking right now, I can see the Golden Gate Bridge leading over to you. So we're all connected. And that's a very important part of Shabbat, feeling that sense, that spiritual sense, how God connects each and every one of us. We rise for Baruch Hu. We're on page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
on page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim.
Let's take a breath together. Wherever you are, we're all together and connected, like the rabbi said. So here we are. Let's breathe in and out. And again, a breath in. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
And if you have actually been standing, you get to sit now. And we'll chant Ve'ahavta on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
On page 40, Mi Chamocha, the song of joy, of freedom, thanking God for the freedoms that we have. And if you're watching the service with a chat feature and you want to put something in that is the way that you cultivate joy or what you're going to be wearing for Purim, go ahead and chat.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילתו ספלה, נורא תהילתו ספלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים, לפני משה ומרים, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילתו ספלה, נורא תהילתו ספלה. ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let
always create this sacred moment right in the middle of this service to say prayers of healing for the people we love and care for who need a prayer for healing of body or healing of spirit. If you have the chat feature, go ahead and put in the name or names of people that you are wrapping into this blessing. If you are with someone else, just say the name out loud. If you're all by yourself, you can just say the name and names out loud. And we include among them our own Susan Cole, Frank Friedman, Ruth Rishan, Marilyn Lubarsky, Rusty Holden, Lauren Knickerbocker, Terry Borer, Randy Evans, Beth and Mark Crosby, Marilyn Friedman, Paul Allen Morris Crow, Donna Petnick Linzer, David Baruch Ben Simona, Lars Rano Larson, and Irving Salmin. Mi sheberach avotenu ve'imotenu, mi shebarach avotenu makor habracha ve'imotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and to bring blessing to all in need of healing. And we say Amen.
Amen.
Amen. We turn now in our service to the Tzafila Prayer. If you're following along in the prayer book, it's on page 46 outside the brackets. If you're able to rise, please do. We'll sing a few of the prayers together. Take a moment for your own prayers, and then please be seated.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Gula livnei v'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham, ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. If you are following along in the prayer book, on page 348 are the lyrics to an Israeli song called Ani ve'ata, which means Ani ve'ata, means me and you. Will change the world. And when we think about Purim, we are aware that we changed the world. The world was changed. Esther and helped us change it, and Mordechai as well. Ani ve'ata neshane et ha'olam. Ani ve'ata az yavo ukvar kulam. Amru et kodem זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה ננסה מההתחלה. We'll start from the beginning. יהיה לנו רע, אין דבר, זה לא נורא. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. It says, אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. They said it before us. They already said they were going to change the world. But it doesn't matter. We're going to change it, you and me. אמרו את זה קודם, לפניי זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם.
This Shabbat, Judaism asks us to do the impossible. We are commanded to forever forget and at the same time to always remember the same event. Welcome to Shabbat Zachor, Shabbat Remember, the Shabbat just before Purim. Tradition teaches us that Haman, who planned to destroy the Jewish people, was a descendant of Amalek. Amalek's tribe, the Amalekites, were the first nation to attack our people after the exodus from Egypt. According to the story in Deuteronomy, while the Israelites were still recovering from a harrowing escape, Amalek's nation launched a surprise attack, cowardly focusing on the most vulnerable at the rear of the group. Each year, on the Shabbat morning of Shabbat Zachor, we read these words of Torah. Remember what Amalek did to you on your journey after you left Egypt. You shall blot out his memory. Do not forget. We are left to puzzle out the paradox of simultaneously forgetting and remembering. On this Shabbat Zachor, this Remember Shabbat, as we sit with the conundrum of blotting out and not forgetting, I would like to take a few moments to talk with you about the current struggle for the state of California to provide a new ethnic studies high school curriculum, what to include and what to leave out. Ethnic studies is a growing trend in American high school. The J News Weekly explains that the rise of a new discipline in colleges and universities called ethnic studies formed in the Bay Area in the early 60s and 70s. Our local JCRC director, Ty Gregory, explains, at its core, ethnic studies is about marginalized communities telling their own stories. A coalition of Jewish organizations explains, our goal has always been to support ethnic studies as a positive reflection of the history and diversity of all Californians. In our diverse Jewish community of 2 Jews and 3 opinions, some Jews support ethnic studies classes, but want to be sure it doesn't include anti-Semitism or anti-Israel content and is more inclusive of California's diverse ethnic groups, including, of course, the Jewish experience. Other Jews find ethnic studies to have an insidious purpose and oppose it altogether. At this moment, the question is not whether or not there will be ethnic studies in California high schools. That ship has sailed. Instead, the concern remains whether the ethnic studies model curriculum that gets voted on in the spring, as well as ethnic studies classes in our local schools, will be as inclusive and without hateful content about Jews and Israel. Reading carefully through the first draft, Jews were invisible, trivialized, lumped together as a monolith, and disregarded for the contributions Jews as an ethnic group have made as immigrants to America. Jewish leaders were alarmed to see a bias in the curriculum toward the boycott, divestment, and sanctions, or BDS movement, against Israel, a lack of telling of the stories of the Jewish minority in America, and a silence on anti-Semitism, even as the curriculum explained examples of hate against other groups. For the past 18 months, while other groups also felt rendered invisible by the original draft and spoke up, Jews advocated to take out anti-Israel and anti-Jewish content and to include diverse Jewish narratives in the curriculum. Now, there is a third draft that remembers not to forget Jews along with other ethnic groups here in the state of California and looks completely different from the highly problematic original draft. Because our community demanded a seat at the table, Jewish concerns were heard. The most recent draft keeps Jews as an ethnic group in the curriculum. It keeps BDS out of the curriculum because it doesn't belong. Whereas there was no reference to anti-Semitism in the first draft, it is included in this current draft in multiple places, including a definition. But the battle rages on. Others continue to advocate for Jewish exclusion in the final ratified curriculum. So what can we do? First, we must all be aware that this attempt to stamp out Jewish Americans and include BDS in the California Ethnic Studies model curriculum is really happening. So please educate yourself. I personally found a recent op-ed written by Ty Gregory and also a Hartman podcast to be the two most helpful resources in unpacking a complex issue. Both the article and the podcast will be posted on our website this Monday. Second, you can go on the JCRC website to register for a public briefing on ethnic studies this Wednesday at 4 p.m. Third, as a people of the book, maintaining a place at the table to invest in our public schools for all the children in our state goes beyond the ethnic studies curriculum debate. Whether or not we are parents and whether or not we have children in public schools, it is a core Jewish value to advocate for top-notch public education for all children. It feels important to talk about forgetting and remembering here in the Bay Area on this Shabbat Zachor, this Shabbat before Purim. The Jewish community is so highly regarded for interfaith work that it can feel uncomfortable to acknowledge the truth that there are individuals and groups on the far left and on the far right who want to blot out the Jews. We let ourselves forget that we remain the targets of other people's hate. Forgetting while simultaneously remembering presents a conundrum. Yet, in the end, we don't observe Shabbat forget, but rather Shabbat remember, Shabbat Zachor. If our community needs our help to be sure that all students know who we are in our own words, I will be there, and I hope that you will too. Shabbat Zachor and Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. He lied and lied about us Jews, but we were not to blame, sir. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be, and Nashlam Hamed Tashem.
So may it be. And as we come toward the conclusion of this Shabbat Zachor service and we think about who we remember the people that we love who died today, this past week, in this past period of Shloshim, 30 days, and we remember the yahrzeits, the yearly anniversaries of our beloved. This Shabbat, we are thinking of Lawrence McKendall and Rob Jamont, both of whom will be laid to rest in the days to come. And we are in this period of Shloshim, 30 days of mourning, for Howard Miller, Allison Small, Elizabeth Meter-Perrell, Jesse Levy, Richard Zuniga, Leonard Paul, Syed Abdul Majid Quadri, Marianne Dowling, Laura Himovich, Bridget Gita Lewin, Deborah Haas Eisenberg, and Frank Platchek. And we mark the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of these beloved in our community. Bessie Alperton, Andy Eric, Sophie Bach, Miriam Ballin, Otto J. Beck, Jean Liskar-Bellman, Ernest Benish, Joseph Blumenthal, Ariella Braverman, Francis Cohen, Linda Davies, Robert Edelman, Deanna Freed, Sufer Fruzen, Robert J. Gans, Francis Glazer, Rhoda Haas Goldman, Leslie Gross, F.M. Guzik, Rose Harlow, May Hartman, Jean G. Hartman, Lily Hecht, Barbara Heller, Hannah Hirsch, Milton Hirsch, Sandy Heimowitz, Betty Israelson, Francis Cantro, Beatrice Kirschenbaum, Steve Levin, Edward Linder, J. Peter Mark, Daniel Matarasso, Phyllis Nides, Roger Noisa, Edward O'Toole, Yoav Pantalat, William Paul, Joe Romaine, William Rushikoff, Margaret Russell, Herbert Shire, Bernard Schimmel, Judith Schneider, Morris Centoria, Mary Joyce Shaw, Isaac Shegalov, Marilyn Silver, Michael Sugarman, Andrew Tillen, Nathan Torbati, Helen Weisberg, Jeffrey Weissman, Bobby Wiltzik, Herb Wiltzik, and Shirley Friedman Zakin, and all of the names of the people that you are remembering tonight. Please join me in the Mourner's Kaddish, which is on page 294, outside the brackets. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam ulmei almaya. Yit barach v'yish tabach v'yit ba'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit alal shemei d'kudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shemaya. V'hayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
V'imru, v'imru, v'imru amen. V'imru, v'imru, v'imru amen. we conclude singing, before we do the Kiddush and the Motzi, we sing Adon Olam, our beloved prayer that is so flexible, that can be sung to just a million melodies that we want to use it for. So tonight we'll sing it to a Purim melody. It's on page 321 if you're following in the book. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa b'chefetzo kol azay melech shemo nikra. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. And Nasham Haman Tashin. I learned this week, actually, Haman and Tashin is Ozen. Haman's ear is symbolic. They were eating Haman's ears. Haman Tashin, Ozen, Yiddish, Tashin.
Yum.
אחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. And Nasham Haman Tashin.
Jenny and I are going to make some hamantashen this weekend. You might find some on your doorstep next week. You just never know. You never know. We would love to invite Benjamin Thayer and his family to come back on in honor of his bar mitzvah tomorrow. Benjamin is going to, there he is. He's going to lead us in the Kiddush. If you have your cup, and I've got mine, but you get to do the heavy lifting. We're ready when you are.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron lemaaseh, Bereshit, ki hu yom tehila lemikraye kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, ki vanu vacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat.
Lechaim. And that was beautiful Hebrew.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. That was beautifully done. Get some good rest, have a good breakfast, and mazel tov on your bar mitzvah.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Rabbi Beth and Cantor Audio.
Thanks.
You're so welcome.
And just before I've got to pull out the challah here. I also thought I was going to put my crown back on, but that seems to have disappeared. Oh, we do hope that you are preparing yourself for Purim and that you have any way that you can celebrate Purim by giving tzedakah, by making hamantashen and dropping them off with your friends. Oh, good. You found yours.
And while you're looking, I'm going to just make an announcement. Yeah. We have a number of Purim events happening this week. You'll see them all on our website. I just want to highlight something that I'm doing. It's going to be really fun. On Tuesday night, we have Purim Mixology with Jos Singer Magid. If you haven't studied with Jos yet, he is a passionate teacher of Torah, funny, engaging. He's go to the website, you'll find everything out, but it's going to be a mix of storytelling, singing, talking, schmoozing, and it's going to be really fun. So we hope you'll join us.
And of course, we have loads of, it's just something for everyone for Purim. And in addition to what the cantor just shared, there will be a carnival where you can drive by and drop off food for the food bank, which is much needed, and see all of us in costume, and maybe we'll see you in your costume. There's going to be a full adult Megillah reading on Purim with Rabbi Jonathan Singer. This is a not to be missed event. I'm just kind of watching him as he imbibes and tells you all about reads the Megillah together. It's very, very fun. All the details for all of these events and so many different upcoming activities at the temple are all on our website. So go check out the website and register for the things you're interested in. Do you think we caught it all, Cantor?
I do.
Okay. All right. You want to lead us in a little Hamotzi?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon bon appetit.
Avon.
Avon.
And Shabbat Shalom. We
Shalom.
miss you. Stay in touch. Let us know what you need. We are here for you.
Yeah, we really do miss you. And we'll see you soon. Please, God.